All right, what's going on, family? I want to apologize for earlier at 11 a.m. I had a little issue uploading the video. So I say, hey, man, I got to come back and do it. I got to come back and do it again. So I'm here now. I wanted to skip at 6, but I got things to do. So sorry for the inconvenience. I wanted to go on at an earlier time. So I decided to go on right now. So with that being said, basically, what I'm coming on here to do today is talk to you guys about whether or not what we consume does it have a direct impact, okay, on our mood, our attitude, okay, our emotions, our feelings, and things of that nature. And I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. It definitely does. What we consume, what we eat, has a direct impact, has a direct connection on our mood, okay, our attitude, and how we feel. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to connect the dots. I'm going to show you guys how this goes. Okay. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna get set up. I gotta do a few things and then we're gonna go for now. Okay. So be a little patient with me, family. Oh yeah, and before I go, listen, on Facebook, IG, and Twitter, follow us at Alkaline Environment. Okay. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, follow us at Alkaline Environment. And please, if you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Alkaline Environment. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Alkaline Environment. Do not wait, because that's where all the content is going to be. Okay, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Friday. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm back. So again, we will be talking about if what we eat, if what we consume, does it have an impact, a connection, okay, on our mood, our feelings, our attitude, and so forth and so on. And it does, okay? I'm not even gonna hold you guys. It does. So let me just give you guys an example on how this works. And then I will let the video be further proof or further confirmation. Okay. So this is how it goes. Animals, when it comes to animals and when it comes to our bodies, okay, sort of the same. All right. We have kidney. Okay. We have a liver, they have a liver. All right. Also, we have feelings, we have feelings. So it's sort of the same. So this is how it goes. When these animals, whether it's a pig, whether it's a chicken, whether it's a cow, when these animals go through this slaughterhouse, okay, they can hear the cries, they can hear the yells from, the other animals that's already being slaughtered. They can smell it, they can sense it, they know it, they know something is not right. They know that they're not going into their natural environments. They're not going into the wild. They understand that. So they start to feel this. They start to, you know, act crazy. The fear takes in, the anxiety takes in. They get real sad, real, because they understand what's about to go down. So off rip already, what happens is the adrenaline starts kicking in, the cortisol levels start kicking in, the work of the stress hormones are being done. Okay. What you have to understand is this: just like us, they have kidneys, and attached to those kidneys are adrenal glands. Those adrenal glands are responsible for our stress hormones. So anytime we're in a situation where we are actually facing death, okay, anytime we're in a situation like that, that's fight or flight. So what happens is your adrenaline starts rushing, the cortisol levels goes up. Once once the cortisol level goes up, what this does is essentially it takes all the blood in your body and it pushes it or gears it towards your muscles because you have to fight. You have to fight. You have to fight for your life. So what happens is when these animals are going through the slaughterhouse and when they're actually about to be slaughtered, adrenaline kicks in, the cortisol level goes in, the blood pressure goes up, and it's going down. So fight or flight kicks in, and what happens is essentially their blood end up getting poisoned. Okay, the blood ends up being poisoned. Very very important to understand. Their blood end up getting poisoned. So what happens is this: once their blood is poisoned, okay, we have to understand that it's a process that takes place after that. The blood is not poisoned because of the fear, the anxiety, and everything about going through the slaughterhouse. Okay. It's a process that takes place that now they have to remove their skin, do whatever they have to do to get this animal prepared. Okay. Once they prepare the animal, drain the blood as much as they can, things of that nature, that animal now goes to the freezer, okay, where is later to be packaged and shipped out. That's how this goes. But here's the thing, here's the problem. The problem is this: we have what they call myoglobin. That's a protein, okay, in our blood called myoglobin. It's similar to hemoglobin, okay? So this myoglobin is in the muscles. It's in the muscles. So inside that piece of meat, that muscle tissue, lies that myoglobin, okay? And this myoglobin is still carrying, all right, this form of blood around. This is why when you get the meat, you thaw it out. And as soon as you start to, put the seasonings and things of that nature and the meat start thawing out, that's when you actually see what? You see the blood, okay? So you try to drain it as much as you can, but you better believe that it's still some DNA in there. You better believe it's still some genetics still in there. All right. No matter how much you try to fry the meat and get all the blood out of it, it's still in there. You still taking that in. Okay. So what happens is this: after you prepare it and things of that nature and get ready to eat it and things of that nature, the myoglobin still has this blood saturated inside of it. Okay. And what they have to do in the stores is what they do is they pump most of the meat. Okay, they pump most of the meat with carbon monoxide. Okay, a gas, carbon monoxide, and they do this because once the meat starts to pretty much go bad and it's drained and things of that nature, the meat starts to turn like this brownish, grayish color, and that's not appealing to consumers. All right. So being that it's not appealing to consumers, they have to take that gas, that carbon monoxide, pump it inside that meat. That myoglobin still is saturated with that blood, and then boom, once the blood, once the gas get inside that meat, then that's when the meat starts to turn this reddish color, and they know that's more appealing. Okay, this is still happening. It hasn't stopped, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys a few videos because this is gonna be a long video. This is gonna be a long video, but I gotta get the information out. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to share my screen and I'm gonna show you guys a few videos. I'm gonna talk through a few of them, pause a few of them to give you guys a little perspective on what's happening and things of that nature. But this is gonna be a long video, so sit tight and hopefully you guys learn something from it. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. Give me a second. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. This is how we do. This stuff is crazy. How this stuff happens, though. So this video right here, I'm gonna show you guys. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. We're gonna go right here. So this is the point I'm trying to make, okay, with the gas being pumped inside the meat to actually give it that reddish color because of the myoglobin that mimics the blood. And, that's how the reddish color come back in, that pigment come back in. Another thing you have to understand, when these animals are going through all these stressful situations, okay, and that blood is now pretty much poison. When we eat the animal, this is what we also take in. We take on the stress, the frustration, the drama, the pain. Okay, everything that animal endured, okay, during that slaughter process, we take it on. Okay, we take it on, and we actually have what they would call a second brain, okay, in our stomachs, in our system. And I'm gonna show you guys that. So this is a video of them basically showing you and letting you know, like, yo, this process actually takes place. Let me play it.
When it comes to meat, the USDA seal is required to prove that the meat has been inspected by a federal agency.
But what many consumers may not know is that some meat has actually been treated with carbon monoxide gas in order to keep it looking fresh for weeks. Kitty Pilgrim has more.
Red, fresh meat, or is it? Congressional hearings pointed to the pitfalls of treating meat with carbon monoxide.
Treating meat with carbon monoxide allows the meat to keep its freshly ground red color, even though the meat may have spoiled. I have a picture on the screen. There's 2 packages of ground meat that were left out at room temperature for 27 hours. You can see the one which was treated with carbon monoxide looks fresh and red, while the other meat has turned brown and quite nasty looking.
Congressman Stupak and Congressman Ed Markey have introduced legislation that would require meat treated with carbon monoxide to be labeled so the consumer would know. According to the industry, 2/3 of all meat and chicken is no longer cut by a butcher in front of customers or in back of the supermarket case. Now, pre-packaged, case-ready meat is prepared off at large distributors and then shipped to supermarkets. The carbon monoxide treatment keeps meat looking fresh in that process. Food experts say a pound of ground beef cut by a butcher goes brown in 4 to 5 days. But meat treated with carbon monoxide by a meat packer can stay looking fresh for weeks. It's the same with imported seafood. Congressman Stupak says his subcommittee tested seafood from China and Vietnam treated with carbon monoxide. 20% turned out to be bad and was refused.
It's a problem because consumers aren't informed about how meat is treated. The meat is being treated with chemicals so that it's going to look like it's fresher than it is. I think consumers have a right to know how fresh their meat is.
Industry representatives of large meat packers say the additive is harmless, and it's easy to tell when the product goes bad. Kitty Pilgrim, CNN.
So there you have it, right? This is how this stuff goes. This is how this stuff goes, family. And what we need to understand is that, if we're gonna be concerned about certain illnesses and certain diseases and things of that nature, we have to look deeper into this stuff and see what's actually going on. So that's just a video right there showing that this carbon monoxide is, inserted inside the meat to give it this red color because of the myoglobin that's still inside the tissue, the muscle of the actual meat, and it's able to do so. So that's how that goes. So again, when we dealing with how what we eat and what we consume affects our mood, affects, our attitudes, our emotions, and things of that nature, you guys gotta get this down. So when we are dealing with stressful moments, when we dealing with depression, when we dealing with whatever it is, anxiety, high blood pressure, you gotta look at what you're putting in your system. So whether it's meat, whether it's junk food, whether it's processed food, no matter what it is, this stuff has a direct effect on how we feel. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna play a couple of other videos to get you guys to understand exactly what I mean. So just not about word of mouth. but I'm gonna actually show you guys, okay, through the videos. All right. So give me a second. So I'm gonna share my screen again, and we gonna run it. Okay. So this is a video right here. Where this video is right here. It's just showing like standard practices, right, and what is happening all around the world, not just in one city or one state, all around the world. Let's go. Look how the pigs is just in distress. Look how they being treated. They can feel all that. Okay, it's in their blood. They can feel it. They know exactly what's happening. You pay his salary. Listen, most of y'all who eat, like most people who eat meat, they wouldn't eat meat after they see this. They probably wouldn't. All right. But I'm gonna keep it real short. We're gonna go to the next page. Next one, right? Look at this. We're gonna go to the next one. Look how these animals are being treated. Look how the cow is being treated. Neck. Look at the neck slit. The cow is still alive. It's crazy. That's a lot of trauma. That's a lot of pain. That's a lot of stress. And what that does is it poisons the blood of that actual animal. So when we eat them animals, we are taking on all of this. We're feeling all of this. Very important to understand. Very important to understand. When they're going through the suffering and this pain, it's in their blood. Okay, so when we eat it, we take on exactly what they took on. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right there. Stop it right there. So again, I just want to show you guys this, so that way you guys could really understand. Like, this is very important. What we consume, what we eat, have a direct connection, a direct impact on our mood, our emotions, and our feelings, okay, and our attitudes and so forth and so on. So to add on more to this, you have in your body what they call a vagus nerve, and they will consider the vagus nerve to be the second brain, because it's a long nerve that goes through a majority of the organs in your body. Okay, so essentially 95% of your serotonin, or 90% of your serotonin, is saturated inside your gut. Now your serotonin is your it's like a hormone that balances out your mood. Okay, it keeps the cortisol in check, the hormone cortisol in check. It keeps dopamine in check, things of that nature. But what good does it do? You know, we constantly, right, eating these animal products, things of that nature. What constantly does it do? Like, what good does it do if we're constantly eating these type of products and stuff like that? It really takes away the integrity of the actual serotonin hormone. And then let's not, add on the simple fact that we're not getting enough sunlight, things of that nature. So that makes it even worse. Now, let me say this. This is not everybody, okay? So I'm not picking on one particular group or one particular person. I'm just going to show you, like, around the world, when you see things happening, for no reason, why people just, committing suicide, people going through so many different things and can't figure it out, is because, man, some of the key reasons is because of the simple fact that we're not eating live foods, and we're eating foods that these animals had to endure all this pain and this stress. Okay, and now we putting it on our dinner table, and we thinking that it's somewhat shape or form is like it's not going to affect us. It is. So the high blood pressure, the diabetes, okay, the anxiety, all this stuff, yeah, is from what we eat. It's from what we eat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen again, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys. So let's go over here, right? So this is your vagus nerve. This is your vagus nerve, and as you can see, the vagus nerve, you can see your brain. Okay, your brain is right here, and then this is the vagus nerve. Okay, so as you look, the vagus nerve, it goes into your heart, it goes into your liver, it goes into your spleen, it goes into your kidney, it goes into your stomach, right? And it goes into your small intestines. So earlier, what I was saying, kidneys, okay, have the adrenal glands attached to it. So these adrenal glands, when we in a fight, a flight, or flight situation, those adrenal glands, which are in control of your stress hormones, it sends the cortisol level. So cortisol level goes very high. Now, whenever you have high blood pressure, you have to find a way to work on your cortisol levels, because the cortisol levels is what's almost responsible, okay, for your high blood pressure. All right, because that's constantly putting your body in a state of stress. So this is going to play on your heart as well. So if you don't get your cortisol levels down, then you're going to have problems getting your blood pressure down. And that's just a fact. And blood pressure leads to diabetes and so forth and so on, which leads to heart disease, which is the number one killer, okay, in America. And that's just how this goes. Now, the way this ties in with the animals and humans is this. We have a vagus nerve, which they would consider to be our second brain, okay? Now, let me do this right quick. Let me do this. So the second brain, as you can see right here, okay? Now I just want to show you guys this right here. It says serotonin, okay, produces 95% of all serotonin. And this is showing this vagus nerve. And where is it pointing to? It's pointing to the stomach, the large intestines, the small intestines. Okay. So 95% of the serotonin resides in the stomach. Okay. The stomach, the small intestines, and the large intestines. Now, let me show y'all something. Okay. Let's do this right quick, right? What is serotonin? What does serotonin do to the body? Look at this. Serotonin is the key hormone that stabilizes our mood, feelings, and well-being and happiness. Okay. This hormone impacts your entire body. It enables the brain cells, and other nervous system cells to communicate with each other. Serotonin also helps with sleeping, eating, and digesting. Very, very important, family. So 95% of the serotonin is produced in the stomach, the large intestines, and the small intestines, right, in the pelvic area. Okay, very important to understand. So here's the thing: when you have a hormone, right? Remember, hormones are instructions. They basically tells the body what to do. Okay, so if you are eating animal products, okay, and remember what I told you, these animals go through all this stress, all this anxiety. All right, they have emotions like us, they have feelings like us, so forth and so on. So when they're going through the slaughterhouse and the adrenaline is gone, the cortisol levels are up, blood rushes to their muscles, okay, and in turn it poisons the blood. When they die, that blood is still tainted with those stress hormones at high levels. Understand this. So when we get it and we prepare it and then we, try to drain the blood out of it, try to cook the blood out of it. It's not going nowhere. You need to understand this. So that piece of meat that you're eating, that piece of meat still have those stress hormones in it. Still has that blood is still poison, okay, in the myoglobin. It's in the tissue of that particular piece of meat. You have to understand this. So every time we eat this food and we break it down, we digest it, metabolize it, things of that nature, guess what? We're taking on the same pain, the same stress, the same, you feel me? Everything, the same fear. We're taking on that. Like we're actually putting it in our body. And you are what you eat, correct? So this is the fact. So the high blood pressure, the diabetes, the anxiety, the depression, the stress is closely related to what we put in our body, because the animals, they endure this when they go through the slaughterhouse and it gets tainted in their blood. Okay, gotta understand this. So the brain is right there, and then you got the vagus nervous system, okay, or the vagus nerve. You see, it goes to the heart. So every time we eat something, okay, if it went through that trauma, okay, it's going to affect our heart, it's going to affect our liver, it's going to affect our spleen, it's going to affect our kidneys. And look at this, the vagus nerve, I'm sorry, is all inside the small intestine, and it's all inside the stomach. So every time we break down that food that we eat, the animal products, the processed foods, okay, the junk foods, right, the dairy products, every time we break this stuff down, it's having an effect on our mood, because I just told you 90%, 95% of your serotonin relies inside your stomach. Okay, it's inside your stomach, it's inside your intestines. So if you're eating this food, if you're eating meat and you're taking on the same pain, okay, the same stress, the same trauma that they took on during the slaughter, that's now got in the blood. You eat this, you still eating their DNA, you're still eating their blood. When this break down in you, what you think is gonna happen to you? What you think is gonna happen to you? And this is how it goes. Now, luckily for us as humans, we have a form of balance. We have a higher self, we have our lower self. Okay, we have the ability to think, to rationalize things of that nature. So this helps us. But when we are eating foods like this that lower our vibration, and we taking in all this pain and stress and things of that nature from these animals, that can really have an impact on how we function as human beings. You have to really understand this. So no, I'm not saying everybody is just going crazy and they don't care about their lives and they just, fucking up everybody in the street doing all type of crazy stuff. I'm not saying that. But you can see when we act out, when we do crazy stuff, not even rationally thinking, we end up hurting somebody, harming somebody in jail. It's closely related because of the things that we consume. Very important to understand. Now, I want to share a video with you guys with this this big fight that happened. Okay, and just point out a few things that I see that was like crazy to me, like how we can find entertainment in violence. Like that's crazy. And of course, we have the psyche part of it. Okay, when we watching movies, TVs, and things of that nature, right? That don't do us no better. We see violence all the time, so we mimic it. We're creatures of habit, and whatever we let in our psyche, psychologically, okay, subconsciously, then we act out and we don't even know it. Like we act that out and we don't even know it. Okay, so it's very important to protect your energy. All right. So let me show you. Matter of fact, no, we'll go there. We'll go there. Because I don't have to drive the point home no more. So I'm gonna play this video and I want y'all to see like how, like, the dude who holding the camera, he finds incitement. Like it's crazy because it's a violent situation. Okay, somebody could end up severely hurt, or somebody could end up dead, and this dude finds, like, he finds entertainment, like he finds a way to laugh about it. And that right there just goes to show me, like, yo, it's if I'm a person, if I'm a person who sits in the sun, who goes to the beach, who loves walks on the beach, who loves, romantic movies, who drinks, good, clean, fresh water, eat, foods that derive from the sun, things of that nature. Like, it's no way that I'm gonna, it's no way I'm gonna have, like, I won't be in this situation. Like, that person won't be in that situation. If you understand what I'm saying. Like, the person won't be in this situation. It just doesn't, the two don't coexist with each other. Okay. The energy don't like, it just, if you understand what I'm saying. So, let me, I'm doing a lot of talking, right? So let me play it. Now I want to point out this dude right here got kicked to sleep, right? He was fighting and he got kicked to sleep. Now watch this. Now you see the girl come in, she tried to actually stop, but they keep doing it. So the man already knocked out cold and they keep fighting, right? But he comes in and kicks them. Yeah, so you got all this taking place, you got all this going on, and this dude finds a sense of humor in it. Like, he finds a way to laugh. Like, these people can be severely hurt, somebody can end up dying, anything can happen, and they find a way to laugh. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's definitely a connection with the food we eat and the things that make us do. First of all, it is black on black crime. That's first of all. We shouldn't be killing each other. We shouldn't be hurting each other. It happens though, but that's another situation, right? But it just goes to show you how this food plays a direct or it has a direct connection or direct effect on us. Okay. So last but not least, so when we dealing with the human body, okay, I just want to show you guys this. This is our chakra system. So you have the higher self and you have the lower self. So the lower self doesn't mean negative. It's not a negative thing. It just means your lower self, okay? It just means the more physical aspect of you. That's basically what is denoting. So the root chakra is the body, vitality, survival, and sex, okay? These are the things that sex brings creation, bring forth creation, and survival is something that we all have to do in order to survive out here. Vitality is, hey, you feel me, is life. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out here and get it. And the body, that's the physical part of you. So what they want us to do is this, and y'all have to understand this. What they want us to do is they want us to continue to stay in the lower self. They want us to continue to just depend on our physical body and really nothing else. Okay. They don't want us to get to our higher self. Why? Because the higher self deals with love. the higher self deals with acceptance. Okay, it deals with expression. All right. So, for example, that would be like a Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. Okay, Malcolm X, his speech, his expression, his communication. He was able to communicate, talk, give his expression, but he did it out of what? Pure love for his people. Okay, it wasn't about his ego, right? It wasn't by him being emotional. He was his emotions came from, like, his emotion was built off of rage because of like what was going on. You feel me? But it also dealt with the survival. But he was able to do all these things, okay? And it came out of love. So this is what it is. So the thing is, what they don't want us to do, they don't want us to get into those top chakras, right? They don't want us to get in the 6 and the 7. They don't want us to be on with, like, they don't want us to be visionaries, right? Psyche knowledge. They don't want that. Thought. They don't want us to like, you know what? Maybe I need to stop doing this because this is what's taking place and stuff like that. They don't want us with the knowledge. Okay. This is why they didn't let us read. Okay. And what? And slavery. They don't want us to be visionaries, because then we start being visionaries, then we start taking over this shit. Simple as that. They don't want that. And then your crown chakra is spirit, wisdom, and openness. Okay. When you start tapping into your spiritual side, all right. When you start tapping into your spiritual side of the ball game, when you start, doing your ancestor worship and things of that nature, it's a whole nother thing. When you start really giving it the note in your energy to nature, that's a whole nother thing. So when you understand that you exist in this world, but the world does not make you who you are, there's a problem. They don't want you to do that, because then you create this shield around you where, like, nothing scares you, nothing can fear you. You understand what I'm saying? You understand that you are what they call God. You understand that. So they don't want you to do that. Because of the simple fact that once you get into that realm, once you get on that level, then it can really, really, create a situation where that will make them very, very uncomfortable. So the thing is this: the foods that we eat, okay, in order for you to stay in tune with your spiritual side, okay, you have to eat nice foods. You have to eat foods that come from plants. Okay, you have to eat food. Why is that? Because remember, 2/3 of your energy comes from the sunlight. Okay, the food, the way the food get its sustenance is what? By nature, by the sun, by the water, so forth and so on. So all we doing is basically extracting and assimilating pieces of the sun. That's all we're doing, because the plants don't have they don't there's no life without the sun. Okay, so without the sun, the plants have no life. So we know that the sun exists inside. Okay, that energy, that solar energy from the sun that is being emitted, it exists inside that plant. So when you eat that plant, okay, or whatever fruit or whatever vegetable bears from that plant, you're eating pieces of that sunlight. Understand that you're getting that energy from the sun. Understand this. It's just in a form of a fruit, form of a vegetable, or whatever it is. All right. So when you eat food that come from who you are and what makes you up, all right, this allows you to stay in tune with your higher self and manage and and pretty much manage the lower self at the same time and become one. This is what this does. But if you continuously, eat the foods that lower your vibration, you feel me? That's poison, like I said, because of the torture and you feel me, all the rage and everything that the animals go through, okay, then you're gonna always just think of your ego. All right, you're always gonna be, just so angry, so frustrated, ready to do this, ready to do that. You're gonna just, everything is gonna be material for you, everything is gonna be physical for you, nothing is gonna be a spiritual connection for you. Very, very important to understand. So lower self doesn't mean nothing bad. It doesn't denote to anything bad. It doesn't take anything away from you. It just, you have to understand what it is. Okay, that's all it is. it can actually be an excellent thing once you master that part of it, the lower self, and then you can get to the higher self. Okay, so this is how the food is connected. All right, this is how the food is connected to us. This is how the food is connected to us. And it's been like this for a minute, right? Listen, ever since we started eating meat, it's been like that. Meat is no longer taken care of the way it need to be. So that's our problem. That's our problem. And we just have to make better and wise decisions. And that's just a fact. So that concludes the video. That concludes my point. I hope I really did touch some people and get people to understand, where I was coming from with this. Okay, so be very mindful, people, of what you putting in your body. Okay, because you are what you eat. There's a direct connection with it. And don't think because you to prepare the meat as much as you possibly can that meat is still, not affecting you, because it is. It is. So again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Alkaline Environment. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Alkaline Environment. Everything Alkaline Environment. Okay, get ready for this winter, because they are going to try to tie in. They're going to try to tie in the flu with the COVID. Okay, because it's going to be very, very. It's going to get crucial for a lot of people. So people who actually do experience the winter phases, is going to get crazy. And even if you're in Miami like I am, and you think, oh well, we don't got no winter season and stuff like that, you got to understand the sun, the time length, okay, the time length of the sun has decreased, okay, because we are into the fall, into the winter. So that means we get less sun exposure, okay, which brings in another problem. Okay, gotta understand that. So if we're not getting enough sunlight, we in some trouble. All right. Well, I won't say we're in some trouble, but things, things are set to happen health wise. Gotta understand that. So don't think because we don't expect the real winter like somebody would in Philadelphia, Buffalo, New York, places like that. Don't think that we exempt, because we're not. So you want to be on your preventable game. That's what I call it, your preventable game. You want to be, purchasing, if you us, the knockout tea, the elderberry tea, the elderberry syrup, because those are going to be your go-tos, okay, especially for young adults, especially for teenagers, and especially for them kids, them toddlers, okay, and adults, and adults, like senior citizens, especially for them. So in a nutshell, it's for all ages. You want to be on your preventable game, all right? Because over here at Alkaline Environment, we preach that prevention is the best cure, and that's true, okay? And that's true. So we got the elderberry syrup, we got the elderberry tea, we got the knockout tea, we got the elderberry herbs, and definitely the baobab, the sea moss, because of the baobab with the vitamin C, keeping your immune system strong, and the sea moss does so many different things, okay? So antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiviral, you name it, night minerals, you name it. So it's about prevention. That's what it's about. So again, I hope y'all guys learned something from this video. On all social media platforms, YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube, and yeah, man, that's it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. See you guys Wednesday. Yeah, see you guys Wednesday. All right. So y'all tune in. I'm out. Peace. Peace, 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 peace.